warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, welcome back to my video. As usual, I will introduce myself. My name is Indang Sartika. I'm student at Mercubuana University, especially in major in accounting. I made this video to complete the 8th forum of English for Accounting class. Okay, the main topic in this video is 1. Budgeting in Indonesian, 2. Budget formulation, and 3. The role of Parliament. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we start from budgeting in Indonesian or introduction. Indonesia has historically maintained a responsible and conservative fiscal policy. Crisis, the budget had a moderate surplus, 1 to 3% of GDP, and public debt was relative low. Public research and development policies were at the forefront. The Asian financial crisis affected Indonesian economy profoundly and reached almost 100% of GDP in 1999, reflection the cost of providing liquidity, and the financial crisis triggered political upheaval in Indonesia with the resignation of freely elected and has assumed great powers, not least in the area of budgeting. However, fiscal policy continued on a responsible and conservative track and acted as uneven during the height of the fiscal crisis. Deficits were modest, reaching a hike of 2.5% of GDP. This situation was the result of major expenditure cuts, largely in public investment and other development expenditure, to offset lower levels of revenue and rising interest expenditure to finance the growing level of debt. Debt levels have come down substantially, reaching 35% of GDP in 2008. Several significant changes have occurred. The composition of expenditure over first, and as not above, public investment and other development expenditure were cut significantly immediately following the crisis to fund sharply higher interest expenditure. This situation has now been reversed, with lower interest expenditure giving room for increased public investment and other development expenditure, as well as third, fuel and electricity subsidies weigh heavily on the despite significant cuts in the subsidies. Fuel subsidies accounted for almost 20% budget by increasing the share of non-oil and gas revenue, but also to lessen dependence on volatile oil and gas receipt. 16% of personal income tax revenue came from only 1% of taxpayers. 2. Budget formulation. This section outlines the budget formulation process in Indonesia. It is divided into 4 subsections. 1. First, outline the fundamental change implemented following the 1997-1998 economy and political crisis. Reinventing budgeting. Following the 1997-1998 economic and political crisis, the Indonesian budgeting system was transformed following the 1997-1998 economic and political crisis. This transformation involved 1. A new legal framework for budgeting. 2. A unified and more comprehensive budget. And 3. Massive fiscal decentralization and the empowerment of local government. 2. The second section describes this distinctive characteristic of the Indonesian budget process. Distinctive characteristic of the Indonesian budget process. This subsection review 5 distinctive characteristic of the Indonesian budget formulation system. 1. A fiscal rule. 2. Underspending of budget appropriation. 3. National planning function. 3. Special role of full in the budget. And 5. Rigidities in the budget. Okay, next, the third highlights each step in the manual budget formulation process. Annual budget formulation cycle. The annual budget formulation cycle can be divided into 5 stages. 1. Establishing the level of research available for the next budget. 2. Establishing priorities for new programmers. And 3. Pre-budget discussion with the Parliament. And 5. Finalization of the budget proposal. And 5. Preparing detailed budget implementation guidance. Okay, the fourth subsection concludes. The economy and political crisis of the 1997-1998 triggered truly transformative change to budgeting in Indonesia. Change include creating a modern legal framework for budgeting, unifying the budget and making it more comprehensive by trimming of budget activity, and rapidly introduction in massive decentralization program. While some aspects of these reforms are not complete, the scale of the undertaking cannot be overestimated, and fiscal discipline was maintained throughout this period, and it should also be noted that Indonesia experienced major shock at the time, including the catastrophic tsunami, which made the achievement all the more noteworthy. 3. The role of Parliament. This section outlines the parliamentary budget process. It is divided into 4 subsections. 1. Or A. The first describes the Indonesian Parliament as an institution. The Indonesian Parliament is a bicameral institution consisting of the House and Representative and the Regional Representative Council. The upper chamber, the Regional representative council has a very limited set of texts and is principally an advisory body. B. Second, examines the parliamentary budget process for approving the government budget proposal. Here is the process. 1. Approving overall fiscal policy orientation and preliminary budget ceilings. 2. Holding informal discussion between ministry and agency and their respective sectoral commission and contents of budget proposal. 3. Approving the government's formal budget proposal. And 5. Approving detailed budget implementation guidance. C. The capacity of Parliament. The capacity of the Indonesian Parliament is its review of the budget proposal is weak. This weakness manifests itself on several levels. First, this is great turnover of members of Parliament. 2. Second, the overall research of Parliament have not increased in line with its new responsibilities. And third, this is not sufficient specialist analytical capacity in Parliament despite recent reorganization of the function of the Parliamentary Secretariat General. Okay, the last D. The fourth subsection concludes, following the transition to democracy in Indonesia, Parliament has taken on its role in the budget process with great zeal. This move is to be commended, and the budget is the single most important policy document of the government, and its scrutiny and amended where necessary by Parliament. It is imperative for a well-functioning democracy. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you in next my video. Thank you for watching.